Hello, everyone. Today we are very honored to interview um, the person who fled to his country right before Russian and Ukrainian war, right?
Uh, yeah, somehow I would
Yeah.
say, yeah. Yeah,
So his name is Aaron.
yeah.
Okay. Welcome, Aaron.
Hi there. So
Uh,
yeah,
so you have some story can tell everyone, right?
yeah. Story is like pretty much has a lot of meanings, and a lot of things that be correlated with each other. Some external things can make you stay just because the other interests, right? Like back in 2019, I flew back to Kazakhstan and trying to open up something, trying to find myself, but I really couldn't. But it was a time when I trying to you know get back to Canada and realize that you know Canada could give me more opportunities and better, I would say,
Okay.
life. Um, then the pandemic has occurred, and then you guys all know probably the story with Afghanistan when American soldiers are left, right? When the Taliban's are pretty much took over the whole country, right? And when the people were even like when the American huge Navy air plane was flying, the guys and people were trying to catch the wheels, right, of the plane, and when the plane was taking off, people were just falling, from like I don't know, like so high, like and the speed was crazy. So they didn't even think of. So that's how crazy people sometimes want to live in the countries like Canada or the U.S. or any other first world countries, right? Because the country where I came from, and I came from third world country, right? It's the young country that has a lot of bribe, a lot of corruption, trying to, you know, yeah, we can pause it for a second, right? If you want me to switch up to the topic of of Ukraine or
Oh, we can direct it. We do the live streaming.
right?
Okay, I want to know why you think
Oh,
about the
live stream, yeah.
Russian and why you fled to a country. You said the Russian um, everyday propaganda focus on.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Some of the politics from Kazakhstan and also society of Kazakhstan and many other countries who is like sharing the borders with us, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, are having a thought since Russia has invaded Ukraine. Why wouldn't they? Uh, why wouldn't Russia have just invade Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan or Uzbekistan if we would probably gonna go against Russia and say no, we just trying to be independent, we trying to do our own thing, right? So as what Ukraine been doing, because Ukraine is the only one country which is really close to Europe, so that's why they trying to take probably their own spot, saying that we want to join European Union, right? So that's pretty much the whole thing about the and propaganda, which means here is the thing of propaganda. Propaganda is good, but you gotta be giving choices to people. Let's say here in the US or in Canada, in any other uh, many developed countries, people have choices. There's a liberal and there's a republic, right? Conservative. So the news are giving you two options, feeding you with two options. When you have option to think which is bad, which is good, two opinions. Whereas in Russia, in Kazakhstan, or any other countries where the monarch, right, only one person, he's the god, he's everyone, we have to pray, we have to cry, we have to do everything, and he's the one who sets the rules, then the humans are getting getting a lot of, confusion because they're not developing, and that what breaks the progression, I believe. And with let's say, for example, Russian channel called Россия один, you guys can also see probably Russian one, and they got the TV show. It's called 60 Minutes, and all the time since since Russia invaded Ukraine and took over the Crimea, they start feeding people by saying that Ukraine is bad. Ukraine have a lot of racist people who trying to kill and prevent the Russian-speaking people. So if you speak Russian in Ukraine, you might get beaten, which is not true. There's a lot of people who speaks Russian, and most of the time in my life I've met a lot of Ukrainian friends, and most of them are speak Russian. So Ukrainian language is kind of rare that people are talking to. So I don't believe that, and I don't think that, the information that Russian propaganda, Russian media says is the truth, because it's not true. Obviously, you can't do that thing, just because of the fact that they trying to open up their own way and trying to develop themselves, develop their language, doesn't mean that they have to invade. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So because you feel Russian deliberate misleading people, so they did for a country before, so you want to.
Interesting statistics. There's one channel called Varlamov. It's a Russian guy who is actually very, very good journalist. I'm watching him, and interesting fact that more than half of a population of Russia are supporting war. Some of them are maybe 10-20% or prefer not to say. They're trying to keep the neutral opinion by saying, I'm not against and I'm not for the war, right? And the rest are totally disagree with the war, but they can do nothing. That's the thing. So when you see the label Z everywhere in Russia, everywhere in Kazakhstan, we were having a lot of situations when Russian cars are crossing the border in Kazakhstan. They're somewhere in a gas station or in a cafeteria or restaurant. They park their car with the label of Z. The sticker thing says that we are for the war, and we're gonna win. За победу, it means за победу, and за, it means for. It means you agree. За победу. That's I believe one of the abbreviation and interpretation of the label of sticker Z.
Z,
Right.
okay.
Z. That's why Russians are. If you support the war, you just have to put the sticker on your car, and that's it. It's totally fine, right? So yeah.
They put us a symbolic, right?
Symbolic, right? Before they were putting symbolic, saying thank you to my grandpa to the win, that he brought the win back into 1945, right, when World War II ended up, right? Because many of the generations now, their grandfathers, their dads were actually fighting against the Nazis, right? Against the in World War II, right? Hitler, and before it was a sticker saying thanks to my grandpa or to my dad for bringing a war, sacrificing their life and fighting bravely to prevent the invasion of Hitler, right?
Yeah,
Germany,
yeah,
back
World
in
War
that
II.
time, when Germany was different, and but yeah, now they are supporting the war, which has no sense at all. I mean, there's no racist people in Ukraine. I would never say that. And the President Zelensky, this is something unusual that the actor from somewhere who worked and lived and earned money in Russia became a president of Ukraine. Can you imagine? The guy who was serving prime minister and president of Russia in one of the event, because he was a comedy guy, right? He was playing the role, and he was on the stage entertaining the guys. It means prime minister was Putin, and president was Medvedev right at that time. He's prime minister. So 10 years ago he was entertaining them, and now he's on the stage as a president and fighting. Nobody, I would never believe that it could happen, you know. So, but it is what it is, you know. And when one of the journalists asked Putin, "What do you think about Zelensky?" He said, "Well, what can I think of it? He's a good actor." So.
But good actor make Putin have a big trouble now, right?
Exactly. Big trouble. Yeah. Russia lost a lot of positions in the military rank, and Ukraine probably gained, like, I guess Ukraine is top 10 now, the strongest military in the world. Wow.
Because they got a good weapon from,
not
from
really.
NATO.
Because they got good soldiers on the side.
Okay.
All of the soldiers who sent to Ukraine, the soldiers, the young soldiers from Russia, they never been having a gun. That's the generation they face nowadays. These guys are holding the phones, but nothing heavier. So that's the problem, you know. Whereas in Ukraine, there was a guys, that's a real soldiers who's like 24, 25 years old on the reserve. So I believe Ukraine knew before that Russia would invade, and they were preparing somehow. I would believe so. Otherwise, I can't imagine. Russia is number one. They have huge territory. They have 145 million population against 40 million. And Russia has so much weapons, whereas Ukraine has some of them, and just trying to get some from Turkish, from America, from Great Britain, from Germany, from France. I'm just saying you can't compare the resources, Russia and Ukraine. This is like a bear against
Rabbit.
Not really. A bear against, I wouldn't call Ukraine rabbit. No, I would call Ukraine a really like strong wolf, you know. But that wolf can actually, you know, fight. Just saying, it's figuratively speaking, but just so you guys know the picture of what's happening there, right? And now Ukraine is counterattacking. Means they're trying to take over their own. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was today, day before yesterday. So as you can see, they're really strong, which I really love that. And the first thing I met with, I did when I arrived to Vancouver, I met with my Ukrainian friend. His name is Fedor. Yeah, we're just having a talk, and yeah, he also told me a lot of interesting stories.
If you stay here, how you can help the Ukraine? Do you have any idea?
Not really. I believe I can't really help or influence to change the world and the war, right? But I believe there are a lot of like donation things, and I don't know. In Kazakhstan, we also were sending the humanitarian the delivery food. You know, that's the first aid needs. You know, a lot of water, a lot of like the cans of food, everything whenever we can. So I believe in the world many people are helping to Ukraine nowadays. So
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You share your story today.
yeah, sure.
Probably
no
next
problem.
time we will have another interview. Okay.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
I will speak Russian. Called Spasiba.
Спасибо. Yeah.
Спасибо.
Спасибо. Не за что.